Do you want to share your love of learning and create a difference in the life of next generation by becoming a professor, but still confused how to approach this profession? Don't worry, we have you covered. Hello everyone, I am your host Megha Bhardwaj, and today we have with us Dr. Amarjeet Kaur, the Dean of Management at Gurugram University, and she will help us in creating a path as to how you can approach this profession. Thank you ma'am for joining us today. Ma'am, first can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure, Neha. Thank you very much for having me here. I am Dr. Amarjeet Kaur. I am Professor of Accounting and Dean and Faculty of Commerce and Management at Gurugram University. I am 22 years old and having 30 years of experience by this time. I am very happy to be present here.
Ma'am, can you tell us about your education qualification?
Sure. I am Certified Management Accountant from IME USA. And I did my PhD in the year 1997 from MD University. I am having dual master's degree, MCom from MD University and MBA from University of West of Scotland.
Ma'am, what really motivated you to come into this profession?
Okay, so this goes back to my college days. I was studying at SJK College, a very small place near Gurugram. So I was part of NSS team there, and for all my 5 years at my college, I was part of NSS team. So from the very first year, I started going to camps during our summer break, our computer break, and with our ma'am. So we were teaching, underprivileged children and old ladies there, and who have never been to school, who never got the chance to go to school. So after teaching them 15 days, 20 days, the change we see them, they were able to write their name, they were able to read few things, and the excitement, the confidence they were gaining because of this small effort by us as NSS student or team, that was marvelous. We were amazed to see the confidence. So I realized this is actually causing or giving them power. That was the best way to empower somebody. So that thought started developing, and I really felt that I must be into this profession of teaching. That is where the thought began.
Yeah. Ma'am, what motivated you during your preparation for the entrances and during your PhD?
Well, the belief I developed during those 5 years of my NSS camp and NSS training and my college days, that we can empower someone with education, right? So that belief was my cause of motivation. So that really gave me passion towards learning, for completing my PhD on time. I was probably the youngest person to pursue PhD there. So that belief was the cause of my motivation, or source of my motivation rather. Yeah.
Ma'am, if someone wants to approach this profession after 12, what advice will you give to them? Like, how can they know that this profession is for them?
Okay. So here I will recall the words of Scott Hayden. He once said, teachers have 3 loves. Love for learners, love for learning, and the third love is to bring these first 2 loves together. Right? So if you are assessing that I am the right person to get into teaching, as a professor, or then just feel, do you have love for learning? Do you love learners? You can take them positively, spend time with them happily, and then you can bring the love of the first 2 loves together. How would you bring that first 2 loves together? If you are able to communicate or transfer your knowledge, your learning to the learners, right? We have to facilitate learning of the learners. Okay, so if you think you are somebody who has love for the learning and who can actually transit or transfer that knowledge you have to the learners. So for that you should have commitment, you should have communication, you should have passion. Then you are the right candidate for this profession.
Then how is life after becoming a professor, and what are the challenges?
Life is absolutely wonderful. There's a sense of accomplishment. Every day ends up with a feeling that I could do this small thing for X or Y student or person. It's absolutely wonderful because you are able to empower somebody. You are able to mentor somebody through this profession. You can actually influence thousands of people in your lifetime as a professor, So that's how it is. Though we are getting challenges nowadays in terms of distractions students are getting, right? So when we were students, there was hardly any distraction. Maybe only the interest in going and playing outside the playground. That was the distraction. But now the technology has brought in so many distractions for any person. So we as a professor have to think how to actually channelize that technology towards the learning. So there's a solution, of course. This not even that could be for the betterment of students, and that can be a good enabler in the learning process. But those distractions on social media sites and so much involvement into social media and then phone, all those things are distraction, are challengeful. But nevertheless, we can, as a professor, if we are dedicated, we can actually use it for the betterment of students.
So ma'am, at the end of the day, is it satisfying?
Absolutely, it's satisfying. As I said, no one can. We generally say that teaching is the noble profession. It's not a saying. One who's actually a devoted teacher, a professor, he knows how much satisfaction he or she draws from it. So absolutely satisfying.
Ma'am, UGC is conducted their NET exams from 9th of July. Is there any advice you want to give to them? To the aspirants?
So I would say to the aspirants, before you take your exam, sit silently for 5 minutes or 10 minutes with yourself and introspect. Feel, do you have love for learning? Do you have love for learners? And do you have the ability to bring these two loves together? Ability means you should be able to, transfer that knowledge. Unless you are able to communicate, share, or help them understand what do you know, so you can't be successful in this profession, right? So just introspect and make sure you are entering into this profession not by compulsion or chance, not because your family wants it, not because your friends wants it, or somebody just. Make sure you want it. You come into this profession by choice, not by chance or compulsion.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today, and that was a really insightful session.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you, Vega. Thank you.